So they're here, and maybe they see that you're up here. They don't think, oh, maybe I should go up here. They think, how do I bring her down? Not just to where I am, but lower. What kind of people do you want in your life? Welcome to another episode of Beyond Words with me, Najwa Zebian. I've always believed in the power of words to heal what they didn't break and to break what they had no right in breaking. And today's episode is going to be specifically about this topic. It's going to be about the weight of words, how your words can heal someone or break someone. Before we talk about how your words can heal or break someone, I want you to think of the way that other people's words have healed or broken you. I want you to think of the ways that right now you are feeling weighed down because of something that someone told you. I want you to sit with the difference between someone saying to you, I love you, and someone saying to you, I hate you. I can't stand you. Think of the difference between someone saying to you, I see you, I hear you, you mean so much to me, and someone saying to you, I don't care about you. I don't care about the way you feel. I don't care about what you're going through. How do those words feel? You know, from my personal experience, words can have the ability to get me to get out of bed early in the morning and go about my day, and I'm strong and I'm powerful and I'm confident and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that and I'm going to go and do this one thing that I've been needing to do for myself, and I'm going to go and help this person with this thing, and I'm going to write this many pages, and I'm going to do all these great things, and they have the power to make me not want to open my eyes in the morning. Words have the power to make me have so much energy to accomplish so much and to be more active and to go for a walk and to do a workout and to go do a hobby that I really enjoy. And they have the power to make me feel like there is super glue between my body and the couch I'm sitting on, where I can't move, I can't do anything, I can't function, I can't operate. Words have the power to build you up, and they have the power to break you down to pieces you never thought you would be. Words have the power to make you feel and experience things that you only saw in movies or you only saw with other people, and things that you never thought were meant for you. And they have the power to take you to dark places that you used to look at others and say, I would never allow myself to get there. And here you are. Words can poison you the same way that words can fertilize your growth. Words can make you become hard, and they can make you become so soft that everyone around you feels the beauty of your presence. Words have the power to make you become someone you never thought you would be. They have the power to bring you up levels in your life that you never ever thought you could reach. And they have the power to make you go all the way down. Think about this like an elevator. Words have the power to get you to the top floor, and they have the power to bring you down floors that you never knew existed in the darkness of the parking lots and what's beneath them. Words have power. Silence has power, but words have power that could grow someone in a way that just completely, the visual I'm getting is like a tree that starts off as this small little thing that you put in the ground, and now it has this big bark and it has all these beautiful branches and blossoms and fruits, and there is no end to that growth. And words have the power to make a plant, a tree that is so strong and steady and that has thick fruits. They have the power to cause a drought that kills it from the roots. Your environment matters. The people you surround yourself with matter. The words you hear every single day matter. I don't care how strong you think you are, how many armors you have around you that say, sticks and stones may break my bones. Words can shatter you. They can shatter your soul and your self-esteem, especially if you hear them over and over and over to the point where you've gotten used to them. Just because you continue to water a plant every single day with poison to the point where you don't see the burns happening and to the point where you don't see the blossoms falling off of it, now it's just this dried up, dead plant. It doesn't mean that that poison isn't still being poured. Just because you can't see the impact of the words that are coming at you every single day anymore because you've become immune to them. You've become a shell of who you are to the point where you say, they have nothing left to burn. But it's because they burned me into someone that I don't recognize anymore. Their words don't mean anything anymore, but it's because they've meant so much for so long. Their words don't affect me anymore, but it's only because they've affected me for so long where I can't even respond anymore. Because if I do, the words become even more painful, even more hurtful, even bigger. And I can't deal with this many bad words. How am I going to deal with this many bad words? So I'd rather stay silent and take it in and not say anything at all. Your environment matters. The words you surround yourself with every day matter. The words that you allow people in your life to use when they address you matter. The words you say to others matter. And the words you choose not to say to others matter. Think of what a person in need wants to hear from you. I understand. I see. I get how hard that must be. I'm so sorry that you're going through that. And think of how they feel when they share their pain with you and you don't say anything at all. You had the option to give the medicine, which didn't require much from you other than empathy, other than choosing to use a few words that show that person that they are not alone. You had the option of medicine and you had the option of nothing at all. But somehow the nothing at all isn't just, it's not that it has no effect. It has the complete opposite effect of the medicine. It's adding fuel to the fire. It's adding to their pain because they had the courage to share their pain with you, hoping that they would feel seen in that pain, and you chose to not be there, to not be present, to not show them that you are so grateful that they actually trusted you enough to open up to you in that way. Sometimes the words we choose not to use can break someone. The first analogy that I'm going to give you, or the first difference between using your words or not using them, or the difference between choosing to use healing words and choosing to use words that are poisonous, is this. Your words can be a mirror for someone, and they can be a wall for someone. Your words can help someone see themselves. They can help someone feel like as you're sitting across from them, they see themselves reflected in you. They see their experience that they're sharing with you reflected back at them. They see that You see them. You see their pain. You see what they're going through. You see their suffering. Or they can be a wall that shatters them. You know, if somebody is sitting across from you and you are acting as a mirror by reflecting back to them what they are sharing with you, by showing them that they're not alone, by showing them that, hey, you can look at me and speak to me and I guarantee you're going to see yourself. I'm not going to bring some dust or some filthy jug of water and throw it on this mirror and make you see something much worse than it actually is. I'm going to help you see clearly. I'm going to sit with you and I'm going to help you sift through all the weeds and get to the other side. Or you could sit across from them as a wall that reflects nothing to them. You can sit across from them as somebody who doesn't see them at all. You can sit across from them as somebody who is hard on them, who says, I've been through worse. Other people have been through worse. Stop complaining. What you're going through is not that bad. It's not as bad as you're making it seem. Think of what it feels like to say your words out loud and you're seeing yourself saying them. You're seeing them reflected against you in a mirror. And think of what it's like. This is all imaginary, but seriously, think of saying words and you're seeing them across the mirror. I'm in pain. This really hurts. I don't know how to get through this. I really want to get through this. And you're seeing that. That's what a person who's receptive to your pain can really do for you. They can help you say things clearly and say them out loud and feel like they are seen and heard, and think of the difference between that and saying words in front of a wall where there's no reflection. You don't know where your words are going. You can't see them. You don't know where your feelings are going. You don't know what they're thinking. You don't know if they're judging you. You don't know if they're thinking, oh, she's complaining again. You don't know any of that. You're just getting nothing. That hurts. It's like throwing yourself. Like you get to a point where you're trying so hard to express yourself and your pain. And instead of focusing on your pain and how do you get out of it, you're focused on making that wall turn into a mirror. How do I make you see me and my pain? You're no longer focused on your pain. You're focused on, why is it that this person can't understand what I'm going through? Why is it that this person doesn't care about what I'm going through? Why is it that this person thinks I'm too sensitive or that I'm complaining too much? Instead of your pain being seen and heard, it turns into your pain being neglected even more. You're coming to someone with your feelings of neglect and what they're doing, instead of helping you see that neglect and surround you with their love and with their understanding and with their, we're gonna get through this together. You're getting nothing. You're getting more neglect than what you came to them with. And don't get me wrong, this is not about you just going through pain. This is about your great days too. When you can stand in front of a mirror, and the reason I keep turning to this side is we have a mirror right here. When you look at the mirror, when you're smiling, when you're happy, when you're feeling so good about yourself, you just accomplished something you never thought you would accomplish, or something that you've really been looking forward to, and you see yourself in the mirror, you're seeing yourself. When you're sitting with someone and you're sharing this amazing thing that happened to you, or with you, they look at you and they say, that's so great. I'm so proud of you. I know how hard you've worked. You deserve this. That's a mirror. As opposed to, I'm so happy I accomplished something that I never thought I would accomplish. I've been working so hard for this. I really never thought I deserved this. And you get nothing. That's a wall. That's somebody who isn't happy for you. That's somebody who doesn't want to share in your success. That's somebody who is looking at what you're experiencing right now and saying, you don't deserve that. Why are you so happy? Like you're so full of yourself. You need people in your life who tell you, you are so full of yourself, and I love that. There is nothing bad about you being full of yourself. Think about that versus you're so full of yourself. Just the tone. Think of you're too much goodness and love and kindness, and the world needs that, versus you're too much. I can't deal with this. Think of you're so sensitive, and I love that about you. It's the reason that you are able to not hurt people, because you know what it feels like. You're so sensitive, and I love that about you because the little things mean so much to you, versus you're so sensitive. Do you see the difference? Like both people, the mirror and the wall, are seeing the same thing in you. But what they're seeing and the value they add to it, or the value they see in it, is based on who they are, not who you are. But what you tend to do is think to yourself, well, if this person can't see me, maybe I need to try harder for them to see me. You know, you start jumping and you start, figuratively, you start trying harder. It is the reason why you find yourself in situations where you become overly emotional. It's not because you are overly emotional in a bad way. It's because your base level of emotion that a human being should respond to is not being responded to. So you're trying harder. The way someone sees you and the way someone allows your words to land on them is totally based on who they are, not who you are. Don't let them get to you. I want you to think of what you represent for people when they come to you with their pain or with their amazing things that are going on in their lives. Always choose to be the mirror. Never choose to be the wall. The only time I would tell you to be a wall is when someone constantly throws insults at you. When the only reason they're sitting across from you is to break you down. Be a wall. Do not allow their words that are being thrown at you to be reflected back by you. Let them break. Imagine like they're throwing rocks at this wall and the rocks are just falling down or breaking. Because imagine what would happen to you if you were the mirror for someone who constantly throws rocks at you. You're going to break. Always choose to be the mirror for someone, never the wall, except for when all a person that is sitting across from you is throwing insults and dismissals and accusations and things that aren't true, things that break you at you. Let their rocks break, let their words fall down to the ground, because that's where they belong. Your words can be a safe haven for someone, and they can be the worst storm they've ever gone through. Think of someone coming to you in a time of need and you just sitting with them without even saying a word. You just welcoming their pain and letting them just take it out and say to you whatever it is that they're experiencing. Versus they come to you with their pain and you turn to them and you say, well, that's your fault. Why would you put yourself in that position? That's your fault. You knew better. I have no empathy for you. You brought this upon yourself. Now, on top of this person going through what they're going through, they are using the voice that you've projected onto them as an echo that's going to put them through this tornado. And they're going down it, and they have nowhere to stop. They've started spiraling because of you. Your words have the power to calm that tornado down and say, hold on. Stop judging yourself. Stop being so hard on yourself. That person should have known better. That person had no right taking advantage of you. That person had no right lying to you. That person had no right taking advantage of the power imbalance between you and them. All of a sudden, that tornado that's going like this, that spiral going like this, stops because it has nothing to feed it anymore. But when you say words like, you should have seen this coming, you deserve this, you always put yourself in positions like this, you are feeding that tornado, that chaos that's going on in their minds. You're making them go down to the pit of despair when you could have brought calm onto the storm they're already going through. So always choose to be the safe haven for someone, even in your silence. Sometimes people don't need you to say anything other than, I hear you. Say whatever it is that you need to say. Let it all out. I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. If you want, you could stay here for a few hours and rest while I do this thing or do that thing. If you want, I can sit with you and we can have tea and we can talk about things. If you want, I can give you advice. If you want, I could just give you my presence. Wow. Think of what that does to someone. Think of what that does to you. When you're going through a crisis and somebody meets that crisis with that calmness, with that safety. I'm here for anything that you need. I'm here for the moments when you get up and you're just crying and you don't know how to make sense of anything. I'm going to be here. I'm going to help you feel like nothing about what you're going through right now is wrong. Nothing except for what you went through is wrong, but there's nothing wrong with you. Wow, like think of what that does to someone versus someone's coming to you and you open your door and you can see them in pain, and instead of saying, come in, what's going on? Tell me what's going on. You slam the door shut in their face. And you say, come again when you've fixed your own mistakes. No one wants that. No one is perfect. When people in your life make you feel like the only time they will see you and welcome your pain is when you're perfect, those are not your people. It's like you're coming to somebody with your pain and they open the door and they see you in pain and they say, nope, come back when you're perfect. Come back when you have nothing that I can't carry. Come back or that I'm not willing to carry. Come back when you've resolved everything that you have and you're ready for me to be able to just welcome you into my life. And this is what happens when you feel like you're too much for people, is there is a constant attempt on their part, whether it's directly or indirectly, to calm you down because you, with your whole presence and existence, are too much. They don't want to deal with your emotions. They want the most dimmed version of you. They want the most basic, raw version of you that doesn't have the core of who you are. They want a diluted version of you that has no feelings, no opinions, no oppositions, no needs, no wants, no pains, no sensitivities, no I like this way and not that way. I would like you to do a little bit of what I do for you in return. They don't want any of that. They want the version of you that says, I'm going to be so invisible that you won't even notice me here. And that's what you say when you dim your light for someone, when you dial yourself down so that someone doesn't have to listen to you. You are breaking yourself apart and you are saying, I will be so invisible, so convenient for you to have me around. I won't take up too much space. I'm getting goosebumps as I'm saying this, by the way. You can't see this, but that's what you're doing. When you go to someone repeatedly with the truth of who you are and they constantly slam the door in your face until you dial yourself down, until you come down and speak in a lower tone or show up with less colorful clothing, figuratively. You come down with less of a character, of a statement of who you are. You are telling yourself, I will do whatever it takes, even if it means me not being myself, just so that you could open the door for me and welcome me. Why do you even want to be in there? Why? Your words can be a safe haven for someone, or they can be a storm for someone. Always choose to be the safe haven, and always walk into places that are a safe haven for you, where you don't even have to knock too loud to be welcome into those places. You just knock. And they just look at you and they know what you need. Pick those places for yourself. The third thing I want to talk about is your words can be a band-aid for someone, or they can be a razor or a knife that cuts them. When somebody has any kind of injury, whether it's a physical one or an emotional one, and they come to you, your words can be a healing ointment and balm onto that cut that they already have, onto that injury. They can be like ice on this place that's really tender that needs to be iced, or they can be like boiling hot water that burns that spot even more. When someone comes to you with that really tender spot that they just hit and they need ice, or they need stitches, or they need a sterile wipe, or they need something that just helps that wound, are you going to be exactly what they need, that healing thing that they need, that person that sits down and helps them clean it up and says, this needs stitches, let's go to the doctor and get it stitched, or if it's an emotional injury, let me help you stitch it? Or are you going to be the person with that razor, with that knife, with that sharp object that's going to make that wound even worse because you think they deserve worse? What kind of person are you going to be? And more importantly, what kind of people do you have in your life? Do the people in your life heal you? Or do they look at your pain and make it even worse? We have a saying in Arabic that it's a little bit, it's not the nicest saying, but it has heavy meaning. It says, when a cow falls over, more and more butchers show up to get a piece from it or to cut it. And that's what happens with some people in our lives. When we fall down, they don't want to help us back up. They want a piece of what we have. They want to break us up even more. They want other people to come around and say, see, I told you she wasn't that great. I told you she deserved, this was going to happen. She was going to crash. She was going to burn. She was going to show that she's not as strong as she shows she is. What kind of people do you want in your life? Those who will help you get up when you fall, through their words and through their actions and through their presence with you, regardless of what stage in your life you're at, or those who look at you and say, I hope it gets worse because you deserve it. And you know deep down you don't deserve it. You know the only reason they're thinking that of you is because they feel so badly about themselves that they need to see you broken for them to feel better about themselves. They don't think they'll feel better if they do something that lifts them up. They think they'll feel better when they break you down. So they're here, and maybe they see that you're up here. They don't think, oh, maybe I should go up here. They think, how do I bring her down? Not just to where I am, but lower. What kind of people do you want in your life? Really think about this. I'm not just saying it as words that you're going to listen to and then this podcast is going to end and you're going to say, that was so powerful. No. What are you going to do with what you're listening to right now? What people are you going to start saying, I don't want you in my life anymore. No access anymore. You don't have, the strings that you keep pulling at me with? through your insults and your devaluation and these awful words that you're using towards me, I'm going to cut those strings myself and I'm going to elevate even higher. You have no access to me anymore. What are you going to do with those words? The fourth thing I want to say is your words can help someone who is already spinning in their minds stop and become steady and see clearly, or they can make someone spin even more. When somebody's going through that cycle of thoughts in their minds that they always go down, this happened to me because I was too vulnerable, or I shared too much about my life, and I put myself in really dangerous situations with people who I knew I couldn't trust, and it's all my fault, and they're spinning. Remember that tornado that we were talking about? But before, we talked about stopping that tornado. Now we're going to focus on not just the stopping act of it, but the fact that when you help someone stop, you help them see ahead instead of them not being able to see anything clearly at all. You say, stop. I understand everything you're going through. I understand why you're blaming yourself. I understand why you're feeling as terribly as you're feeling right now. But let me remind you, here are the facts of what happened. Here is what you can do with what happened to you. Here is the next step you can take. You're helping someone who was spinning so much just stop and look. Maybe now you can be their mirror because they finally stopped spinning. Or you can just add to that spinning and say, yeah, you're right. How could you have done that to yourself? Like, how dumb are you? Add to the spinning. You don't want them to see clearly because you enjoy seeing them struggle as much as they're struggling. Or you so badly don't want to help them that you say, it's better for me if you continue spiraling and not seeing clearly, because now you're a much weaker version than who you actually are, and I don't really need to deal with your greatness. I don't need to deal with your clarity. This, by the way, is the reason that abusers thrive on not power, not I'm better than everybody else. This is the reason why abusers thrive on confusion. They keep you confused. They never give you a straight answer. They want you to keep spinning, because as long as you're spinning and you're not seeing clearly, they don't have to deal with the level-minded, strong, confident, knowing, wise person that you are. They don't have to deal with the fact that you can see the truth for what it is. They want you to keep spinning. So just like your words can make someone spin, not see clearly, and your words can make someone steady and clear in what they see and clear in their truth and clear in who they are, the same thing comes for the people in your life. Reflect on who those people are, what they represent for you, and make the decisions you need to make. Your words can help someone's voice to be echoed and become bigger and heard and spread and be more healing for others, or just be present. Or your words can crush somebody's voice and dim it and make it so that no one else hears it. You can echo someone's voice and you can silence someone's voice. And I know you have people in your life that do both things for you. When someone hears you come up with this beautiful idea, as stupid as it might be, not stupid as in, that's never going to work because someone else has tried it and people have tried it for so many years and it never worked out. I don't mean that. I mean like this crazy innovative idea that you have, or something that you really want to try and it's not really harmful if it doesn't work out, and you're just so excited about it. You're like, yeah, like let's do this. And Or they look at the work that you're doing and they say, what you're doing is amazing and I want more people to talk about you. You know this because you've seen couples out in public where, the guy will start randomly talking about the work of the person that he's with and say, she's amazing at what she does, or this is what they're contributing to the world, or I admire this quality about the person that I'm with. You see that. That's how your words can help echo someone's voice versus, I don't want anyone to know what you do because it's kind of embarrassing for me. I'm going to silence that voice. I'm going to say over time, directly and indirectly, that I don't value what you do and I don't value who you are and I don't value your opinions and I don't value your words and I don't value your actions and I don't value what you contribute to the world or what you contribute to my life, and I don't value the way that you project yourself into the world. I don't value the way that you are towards your friends or towards your family. I'm going to do that directly and indirectly over time until you no longer see the value in what you have to say and what you have to do, until you no longer see the value in who you are. Always choose to be the echo for someone, even if that echo means we're going to sit and talk about what you just said, and we're going to make it even better. Or we're going to take away the parts that show any kind of indecision, and we're going to echo the great parts. Always choose to be that person versus the person who gives no value to someone's voice to the point where you make them feel like their voice actually has no value. Because when you tell someone your voice has no value, guess what you're telling them? You have no value. Because where is that voice stemming from? It's from their thoughts, their beliefs, their emotions, the truth of who they are. When I tell you your voice means nothing, it means you mean nothing. Let's go over the 5 points we talked about today. Your words can be mirrors or walls for people. Always choose to be the mirror. Your words can be safe havens or storms for people. Always choose to be the safe haven and always walk into places that are safe havens for you. Your words can be a band-aid or they can be a knife. They can be that really sharp object that really cuts into someone. Always choose to be the band-aid, the healing ointment, the medicine, the stitches for someone. Your words can help someone become steady and see clearly, or they can make somebody continue to spin in their confusion and their lack of clarity. Always choose to be the one that helps someone see clearly. Your words can help someone's voice be echoed and to become bigger and heard everywhere and to become greater, or they can make someone's voice become so quiet to the point where they no longer speak anymore, where they no longer express themselves anymore. Always choose to be the one that helps someone's voice become an echo. Now that you've listened to this episode, I want to hear the one word that comes to you when you think of the power of words. You may have thought different things before, but now that you've listened to this and you've reminded yourself of the power that words have, what word comes to you? And I will highlight some of those once I get to all of them. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope that this episode helped bring you healing beyond words. And until next time, have a lovely day.